Picture this. You're in the wild, ancient past. Night, the fire almost out. From the darkness, two yellow eyes are watching you. You think this is the main danger for an ancient human? Well, the predator killed least of all. What actually wiped out our ancestors, you wouldn't even notice. It was small, silent, and almost always invisible. Most people think the ancient world was a battle with saber-toothed tigers and mammoths. Pretty picture, and almost entirely false. Let's break down what really killed humans 100,000 years ago, and why today each of those deaths is just a minor nuisance. Let's start with the most ordinary thing, water. You walk up to a stream. The water is clear, cold, transparent. You drink, and it can kill you. In the water live invisible creatures, bacteria and parasites. They have no face and no fangs, but there are millions of them in one gulp. A day later, you get what we shyly call an upset stomach, diarrhea. A harmless word. It killed ancient humans. Because with it, the body loses water faster than it can drink. In 2 or 3 days, dehydration. The heart can't take it. Today, it's cured by a sachet of salt and sugar dissolved in water. Back then, a dirty gulp could cost you your life. Children died most. One bad stream was enough for a small body. So our ancestors learned to fear still water more than wolves. Now, something you never even think about today, teeth. An ancient human had no brush, no paste, no dentist. But there was another problem. Food full of sand and grit. Grain was ground with stones, and rock dust got into the flour. That dust wore the teeth down to the nerve. A hole in a tooth isn't, go see a doctor. It's an entry point for infection. The infection went into the jaw, then into the blood. Blood poisoning from a bad tooth killed a healthy hunter in a week. Archaeologists find skulls with such abscesses, a great many of them. Think about it. A man survived mammoths but died from a hole in a tooth. Today, that's a filling in a single visit. Next, something you slap a Band-Aid on and forget, a scratch. You scrape your leg on a rock, a trifle. But bacteria get into the wound, and antibiotics don't exist. A day later, the wound reddens. 2 days later, it swells and burns. A red line crawls up the leg. That's the infection heading for the heart. Against this, an ancient human had nothing, only his own immune system and luck. Half didn't survive, from a scratch. The strongest hunter in the tribe could die from scratching himself on a twig. Today, that's ointment and a Band-Aid from the pharmacy for pennies. See the pattern? It wasn't the beast that killed. It was the trifle. Now back to that night by the fire. The main enemy of the night wasn't the predator. It was the cold. A human is a tropical animal, naked, without fur. One night in the open below freezing, and that's it. The body cools, movements slow. The person falls asleep and doesn't wake. That's why fire wasn't comfort. Fire was life. If the fire died on a cold night, by morning someone might not get up. They guarded the fire in turns. To fall asleep on watch was to betray everyone. Today you just turn the heating knob. For them, warmth was what separated life from death every single night. And now the slowest killer, hunger. A predator kills in seconds, hunger over weeks, and it came every year. There was winter, or the dry season, the time when there's almost no food. There were barely any stores, nowhere to keep them, no way to preserve them. The tribe finished the last of it and waited. Some didn't make it to spring. The old and the young weakened first. And here's the cruel truth. The body knew how to conserve itself. In hunger, everything non-essential stopped, even a woman's ability to conceive. Nature seemed to say, now is not the time to bring new life. Every spring the tribe met alive, it met as a victory. There's a danger almost no one talks about, childbirth. For an ancient woman, giving birth was scarier than going out to hunt. A big infant head, a narrow pelvis. We pay for walking upright. Any complication a doctor solves in an hour today, back then meant death. 2 at once, both mother and child. Every woman going to give birth really might not come back. And still they gave birth again. Otherwise, there would simply be no people. Today, birth in a hospital is safer than the drive there by car. And one more enemy people forget. Other humans. Another tribe is competition for food, water, and territory. 2 groups meeting at one stream could end in blood. But more often, it wasn't the axe that killed, but what the stranger brought. New diseases your tribe had no immunity to. One sick guest, and in a week the whole camp goes down. So they treated strangers with wariness, and often they were right. So here's the question. If literally everything killed us, how did we survive at all? The answer isn't in strength, not in claws, not in fangs. We're the weakest in the savannah. Slower than a lion, weaker than a bear. Our only weapon was between the ears, and in the number of hands. We survived because we stuck together and passed on knowledge. One person at a stream is a corpse. A tribe at a stream are those who know where not to drink. An elder who'd survived 10 winters was worth more than any hunter. He remembered which berry kills and where water hides in winter. Knowledge passed in words saved more lives than any spear. Fire that was shared, experience that was told, hands that held. That's what beat all those invisible killers. Not strength, connection. And now look at yourself. You drink water from the tap and don't think it will kill you. You brush your teeth and don't lose them by 30. You patch up a scratch and forget it by evening. At night you're warm. In winter you're fed. A doctor delivers the birth. Each of these trifles is an invisible shield your ancestors didn't have. You live inside armor humanity built for 300,000 years, and you almost never notice it. Go back to that fire from the beginning, to the yellow eyes in the dark. Now you know, those weren't the thing to fear, but a gulp of water, a hole in a tooth, a scratch, a cold night. An ancient human lived knowing any trifle could be the last, and still got up in the morning, walked to the stream, and lived on. We are the descendants of those who survived all of it, every one of us. Written in you is the memory of hundreds of generations who didn't give up. So next time you turn on the tap with clean water, remember what a luxury that was just yesterday by the measure of our species. And what surprised you most? Write it in the comments. And if it was interesting, subscribe. Here we strip away the modern and see who we really were.